All right, guys, welcome. This will be the first lab in Unit 3. There will be maybe 4 to 5 labs. I'm still working on it. It's about Wednesday. I'm sure you can see my beautiful face as it's recording. So let me share the screen and get started. Let's go to screen 1. That'll be my doggo. The stuff I opened, don't worry about it. It's just notes and stuff. And yeah, nothing too fancy. So as you can see here, I've already done this lab. It shouldn't take too long. It's just a test I did to see what happens. And I'll delete it. So for this one, you're going to need to install FTK imager. So how do we do that? You're probably wondering. Let me pull it up. At this point, you should have FTK extracted, or you should still have the image. Let me grab it from where I have it, and it's going to be here. So this is what it looks like after I extracted it out of the image that you mounted when you installed it the first time. I apologize that wasn't working, but I figured out what we need to use. It's actually imager and not the original FTK. I apologize for not having clear instructions. So if you get the first one to work, cool. I'll give you extra credit at this point. Don't worry about it though. It's not anything too crazy. It will be all right. So you launch it, you get this screen from the auto installer, you go to other products, which brings you to this screen here, and you want to do install imager. Click it, and it'll take you to the next screen, which I know you can't see. Just hit yes, and it looks like this, and you just let it run. I'm installing over mine. I don't really care. It's not gonna hurt anything. So this is what comes up after it extracts. You hit next, it runs, finishes, then you're done. And it should populate it. Let me cancel it because I don't need it. So once you install it, I will need a screenshot of it open. Yes, I know I am pretty screenshot heavy, but that provides me proof. So it'll look like this, right? So there's not really much there. So it means you install it successfully and it's working. So that's one thing. Now you're gonna have to add something in here that you want to get the hash value out of. Well, what do you add? You can make a folder and put a file in it. That's fine. You can create a test folder and put a text document that says, lab unit 3 lab 1, and I will need a screenshot of it added. So let me just add that to the notes that I'm missing. Screenshot of added folder / file. So how do you add that? You're probably wondering. You're gonna go to file, and you're gonna go to add evidence item, and you get this guy. So well, you don't want a physical drive. You can add a hard drive if you really want to scan a whole hard drive. Be my guest. I'm not going to stop you. A logical drive or an image file. You have an image file of a drive? Sure. Go nuts. Give it a shot if you want. Again, you can play with this all you like. I might give you guys an image later if I can get one that has stuff on it we can play with. But for now, we're going to do contents of a folder. So we're going to go next. You can hit browse. So as I said, we're going to add something. Test. Oh, it's just my flash drive. I'm not going to scan it. And I'm going to add the folder I used for this class where I store my stuff. So I'm going to hit OK and finish. So this is what I want to see. This is a screenshot of what I want to see, okay? So I know you added something and it tells me the route of where it's going. That's just my login name for this machine. Don't worry about it. So you can see it here. It's this guy. And inside this guy, I made this, right? And what do we say about hash values? That it's going to give you a hash value once you scan it. So, okay, how do we get to that hash value? Drink this because we're going to need it for later. We'll go to File, Export File Hash List. Here. So I'm going to call it Lab 1. Unit 3 or Unit 3 Lab 1, vice versa, doesn't matter. I'm gonna hit save. So cool. It created a file. Let me show you what it looks like and pull it up. Give me a second here. This is what it looks like. I pull it open. It's gonna have a bunch of stuff. Let me make this bigger so you can see. And I'll expand this. I'll expand this. So this is everything I have in there. It's all the PDFs for the class, the guide for the class, the book for the class. If you guys need the book, please tell me. I will give you the book. It's not that big of a deal. PowerPoints there, zip file for other stuff I have, lesson plan. This is where I just have what I'm doing week by week. Don't worry about it. Remember I made a test file? So look, here's this hash for the test file. Let me copy this out real quick. So which is what first MD5. So let me do another Excel. Go to file blank. So I know it's MD5 and sorry, I didn't copy because I'm a goober. I'll do one at a time. Let's see. I know it looks like I'm pity patting and just wasting time. Don't worry. This is just for comparison's sake. And I'm copying this guy. And I'll put today's date. Or rather, I'll call this first. Yes. I'll do second run because you're gonna run it a second time. It's pretty quick lab. I'm trying to make this simple, remember? I don't want you guys to get too lost on it. So I'm going to want a screenshot. Yes, I know, of this capture and whatever test file you have. You can highlight it in here if you want. And then we're going to look at the hash after you edit it. So back to that real quick. There's FTK, which we don't need anymore in this guy. So I'm going to call this test2 because it's the second time I technically do this. So I'm going to save it, close the file for now, even though it'll make a new one or a new case or hash, sorry, hash export. So I'm going to do it again. Right, I'm gonna call this 1 unit 3 or 2. So at this point, I made another one. So let me drag that guy over. Go here, and I'm looking for that same test file I made, right? So that's how I'll know that something changed, hopefully. So we go here. Remember, it's only going to change if I edited the data. Now look at this, a new hash, MD5 hash and a SHA hash. Let me copy this over here. I'm just doing it so you can see the comparison. You can do this if you like to, or send me a screenshot of each. Oops. I don't want everything. I just want that. So this guy here to here, and look at that. They both changed. And this was my second run. All because I added some text. So remember the rule is it won't change unless you do something and open it, edit it, and save it or modify it. A new MD5 hash or SHA-1 hash has to be written. That's what essentially this is doing. So there you go. Not too hard for the first lab for this unit. All right, guys. That's all I have for this one. Oh, sorry. Before I sign off for this lab, you can send me something like this. That's fine. You can put the title lab here, I put in mind, or you can send me a screenshot of both files like this. But I ask if you have a test file in it that you just select them both and just highlight. Please pick a color that won't hurt my eyes. Orange or gray is fine. I can read it. And okay, cool. And I'll look at the next one, the second screenshot. You know, lab 1 unit 2 part. Lab 1 unit 3. I'm sorry, part 2, and I can compare them both, and they're both different. Cool. You get credit. So pretty simple, all right? So I will see you in the next lab, guys. Take it easy.